We can get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for Julianna to do your presentation once in French and once in English, so we have complete inclusion. But this, I have to say, this is an amazing presentation. It goes very well hand in hand with Brooklyn's that she just held and is going to be holding tomorrow as well, another one for care for the caregiver. We're happy that we're able to address mental wealth. It's been a lot of presentations today, mental health. And, Julianna has a great presentation to put together here, and she's going to be explaining a few things. Again, the interpretation button is below. If you would like to listen into another language, just please press on that. And with that, welcome, Julianna. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susie. So hi, everyone. Welcome to the mindfulness workshop. I'm just going to share my screen with you all so you can see the presentation. Let's make it bigger here. Internet's a little slow today. Maybe I should stop sharing and do it. Sorry, guys. My internet is not working so well. Just going to try closing it and reopening it here. Sorry for the wait.
No problem at all.
It worked good yesterday, so should be the same today. My internet's just a little slower. Okay.
Rob, did you do the screen share thing for her?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's just my it's my internet, but it's working now. Okay. I don't know why it was going so slow. It's just on my end. The connection's not so great. Okay, now it's working.
Okay, and can you go to full screen?
Yes, it's just loading.
Oh, that's perfect.
Is it working? Everyone can see that?
Looks good.
Perfect. Okay, so welcome to the workshop. So today it'll be a mindfulness workshop. And I'm Julianna Cavallaro, for those that don't know me, and I just graduated in therapeutic recreation. So just before we begin, a little note from Susie about these therapeutic boxes that they'll be sending out. So Cure SMA Canada recognizes the emotional impact of being affected by spinal muscular atrophy. We are very happy to be able to provide a therapeutic gift box to all of our SMA affected members over the age of 15. Please ensure you have an up-to-date registration with the organization. To register, please go to curesma.ca and click on Join Cure SMA to automatically receive your wellness box. If you have not updated your membership within the last year, you will need to update your registration in our new system. So all you have to do is be registered with the website. Perfect. So a little bit more about me for those that don't know me. By profession, I am a therapeutic recreation specialist. So for those of you that don't know what that is, it's actually creating recreation programs for either people with disabilities or older adults. So basically adapting recreation to the needs of the people. So I'm currently working at Bloom Therapeutic Recreation, which is a company in Ottawa, but I'm actually based in Montreal. And then as well, on a personal level, I'm a part of the SMA community. I have a brother named Sammy who is type 2, who is 21. That's just a little about me. So I wanted to start off with just a little quote about mindfulness. So mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. So it's not just sitting around and just being there to be there. It's really focusing on the moment and letting all things in without any sense of judgment. So to start off, we see that little picture of the hand. So I want to do just a bit of a mindfulness exercise to start off to get our minds going. So if you can take either one or both hands, it's up to you guys, and either place it on a table or your legs, whatever's more comfortable for you. And you can just leave your hand there and focus on what areas of your hand are touching the table. So is it more your fingertips or your palm? Is it one finger more than the other? So is your pinky touching more your thumb, your index, or your ring finger? Pay attention how it feels on the table. Is it smooth? Is it more rough? How does the surface feel? Is your hand hot? Is your hand cold? And then if you can, if not, you can just imagine it. You can put pressure down on your hand, not with pain, just a little bit, and see where you feel the pressure more. So is it more in your fingertips, lower in your fingers, or in your palm more? And really focus on where you feel that pressure. And then you can ask yourself, do you find this exercise relaxing, tough? Are you feeling stressed or frustrated? And anything else you feel within yourself or within your hand. So yeah, that's just a little mindfulness exercise to get us aware. So we don't really take a moment to just, like, we put our hands down and we just leave them there. We don't really take the time to think about how it actually feels. So that's just being mindful of certain experiences, and allows us to just take a couple minutes and check in with our body and see how we're feeling. Okay, so to start off, what is mindfulness? So mindfulness is a state of awareness and a practice. It involves attending to the present moment and cultivating an attitude of curiosity, openness, and acceptance of oneself. It is a way of focusing our attention onto the present moment and taking more notice of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and the world around us. So it consists of just taking our time and thinking about what is happening in this exact moment right now, exactly what we're doing. And it could be checking in with either how we're thinking, how we're feeling, what is our body feeling like physically, and then as well as just taking in what's happening in the world around us. We kind of just tend to go along with our days and have so many thoughts in our mind, and we don't realize that we need to start taking in the experiences that are happening all around us. So now we have the 3 principles of mindfulness. So we have this little diagram here. So within it, we have intention, attention, and attitude.
Sorry, Juliana.
Yes.
Gerard, I'm not getting any translation. I think you're on mute. I think you have to unmute yourself. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Juliana.
It's okay. So we have this diagram here with the 3 principles of mindfulness. So they include intention, attention, and attitude. So to be in full like mindfulness mode, let's say, you have to have all 3 of these categories. So to start off, we have intention. So this is the motivation to participate in mindfulness. So you need to want to be mindful. It doesn't come easily. It's a practice that we need to want to do. And then next we have attention. So this is paying attention to the present and the experiences that are currently happening. So we have to have the attention span to want to participate in what is around us and all those experiences that come with that. And then lastly, it's attitude, which is creating an attitude that is focused on being accepting and open to your present experiences. So we need to remember that we need to keep a non-judgmental approach to ourselves, and we need to let everything in, as well as paying attention to everything that's on the outside world and creating an attitude that involves all of this. So what do these principles look and feel like? So we'll start off with attention. So this is listening, watching, or considering the present moment. So for attention, this can be done through just paying attention to your breath and how it feels. So sometimes we can do like even once a day, once a week, however many times we feel like. You can just take a few minutes if you're feeling anxious or stressed, and just close your eyes and pay attention to your breath. It can just allow you to see how your breath is. So is it short? Are you breathing quick? Are you breathing heavy? And just adjusting based on that feeling. The next one is intention, which is purposefully paying attention to your current experience. So this is making sure that you're aware that you're being mindful of every experience. So this can be done through setting a goal in the morning or an intention at night. So one example would be, I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, today I will live in the present and focus on the experiences that are happening today. So it's just setting some type of intention for the day and living through with it. A lot of people also use like sticky notes or Post-its, and will place them either around their room or around their vanity in their bathroom. And they use little stickies to set what intentions they want to set for the day or for their week. And then lastly is attitude. So it's creating an attitude that focuses on the here and now. So that's just creating an attitude that's focusing on the present and not worrying about the future or past, any stresses that are happening, and all everything that comes with that in everyday life. So next we have the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So these are different ways that we can observe and be mindful of ourselves and stuff around us. So first we have observation of the body. So this is basically checking how your body feels and checking in with yourself physically. So this can be done through awareness of breath, which is what we spoke about before. So checking in with your breathing. It can be through position of the body. So just kind of however you're sitting or standing and checking in, like, how am I sitting right now? Am I comfortable? How are my legs positioned? How are my knees? Are they crossed? All that kind of stuff. And then there's also how different body parts feel in the present moment. So that's also a way to check in. Are you feeling any pain? And seeing what parts of your body are comfortable or not so comfortable. So then next we have a mindful observation of feelings. So this is checking in how you feel emotionally. So sometimes we have difficult time doing that since we're constantly on the go, but sometimes it's nice to just take a moment and see how we're feeling emotionally. So this would be to identify how we feel in the present moment and becoming in touch with our feelings. So in doing this, it also allows us to see how we our patterns within our emotions. So by checking in on ourselves, we can see how our feelings arise, how they endure, and how they fade away. So for example, let's say I'm sad right now. I can start to notice patterns of how I am when I'm sad. So I can see how it leads up, how I am when I am sad, and how I stop being sad. What's the patterns within all of those? So it just allows us to be mindful of how we're feeling and how certain patterns are created within ourselves. So then the third one is mindful observation of the mind. So this is focusing on our current thoughts. So this is identifying what we feel in the present, as well as what our conscious thoughts are of what we are currently thinking about. It's kind of just taking a step back and saying, what are my thoughts right now? What do I think about this? What do I think about that? And just going through it and being aware of all the conscious thoughts in our minds. And then lastly, we have mindful observation of objects. So this is it can be somewhat of a meditative style. So it's focusing on a physical object. So it's thinking deeply about a physical object and how it currently affects each of the 5 senses. So it can be done with any physical object, but let's just say, for an example, I want to use a flower. So I would take the flower and then deeply analyze the flower and then use the 5 senses. So how does the flower smell? How does it feel when I touch it? How does it look? How does it taste? I mean, that wouldn't be so sanitary, but so it's basically just taking all the 5 senses into consideration when you're thinking deeply about a physical object in front of you.
Can I interrupt for one moment?
Yes.
Julianna, can you read? I sent you a message on chat.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, sure. Sorry, I didn't see
No,
that.
it's great. It's
Hard
great.
to see with the screen sharing. Okay. So next, we have the definition of mindfulness as well as somewhat the principles and the theory behind it. But why should we participate in mindfulness? It kind of gives us reasons why we should. So there are numerous health benefits where it can create improvement in emotional, mental, and physical health. So by practicing mindfulness, it can increase our awareness of thoughts, emotions, and unhealthy patterns that can lead to a decrease in stress. So as we become more aware of how our body feels, how our thoughts are, how our emotions are, it allows us to become more aware of it and create changes that can then decrease our stress. So it also can help individuals live in the present moment. So a lot of times we're so preoccupied with our lives and all the stress that comes with it. It kind of just lets us take a step back and live in the present for what it is right now and enjoying it. And then lastly, it allows us to check in with our mind, body, and spirit, where we can be honest with ourselves about how we feel in the present moment. So it just allows us to check in with every part of ourselves and seeing how we're feeling and then adjusting accordingly. So I thought this was a little fun play on words. So we have mindful or mindful. So as you can see, the man on the left side has his mind full of all his stress, his money, his work, his all kinds of different stuff there. Whereas the dog is just being mindful of what's in front of him. So he has the trees and the sun. So it's kind of funny where I think most of us are on the side of the man when we're walking by all this nature. We just are so worried about what we have to do and what we've done. But sometimes it's nice to just take a moment and appreciate what we have in front of us and enjoy it. Okay. So next we have creating a mindfulness mindset. So if we can do these three things, we're in a pretty good spot to set up to be a mindful person. So the first one is to be in the moment. So it's being aware of everything that is currently happening without judgment of expectations of the moment. So being in the moment, just enjoying where we're at right now. The second one is letting go. So it's opening ourselves up to experiences without engaging in previous negative habits. So many of us have a hard time just forgetting about what we did in the past. We always have regrets about mistakes that we've made. And it's just about letting go of all of that and not engaging in those habits anymore. We just open ourselves up to the new experiences and letting go of the past. And then lastly is acceptance. So this is looking into our experiences, situations, and seeing all aspects of it for what they truly are. So it's just being accepting of everything that is happening around us and not placing any judgment on it and just accepting it for what it is. So next we have why mindfulness matters. So these are some of the benefits that come with practicing mindfulness. So we can see an improvements in cognitive performance. It can decrease stress levels and depression symptoms. It can create an increase in emotional well-being and self-compassion. It can create healthier responses to difficult social situations, and it can increase compassion towards others in need. So mindfulness and SMA. So since many of us are individuals with SMA, family members, or caregivers, we are all aware that stress can also often be put on families and individuals and caregivers with the fear of the unknown, with the future. We never know what the future holds. Will I get worse? Will I get better? So there's always this uncertainty. So by practicing mindfulness, it can allow us to implement every day, like we can implement mindfulness every day to help reduce these anxieties through focusing on the present moment rather than the future and what it will bring. So it can be very easy to think, what's going to happen next? Am I going to get worse? Am I going to get better? How is my family member going to be affected? So it's nice to just forget about all that and enjoy yourself or your family member for who they are right now and all the experiences that come with that. So we all know that it's impossible to never worry about the future or what has happened in the past, but we also need to learn how to train our minds to return to the present when it wanders to the past and future. So it's impossible to never think about it, but we want to learn how to become more mindful of the present in order to not always be wandering to the future or the past. So mindfulness and compassion. So mindful self-compassion is being aware in the present moment when we're struggling with feelings of inadequacy, despair, confusion, and other forms of stress. So this is being mindful. And then responding with kindness and understanding to ourselves, which is compassion. So by being mindful of ourselves while we're struggling, it allows us to become more kind and understanding to ourselves. So we understand, okay, I made this mistake, but that's okay. And I will move forward and enjoy what is happening right now. I think it also can work for caregivers as well, not as self-compassion, but just compassion to others, that if others are making mistakes or you're frustrated with your child or anything like that, it just allows you to become mindful of why they're doing what they're doing, and which can allow you to become more compassionate towards them. Okay, so I wanted to have a bit of a discussion if anyone was willing to share. I know some people do not practice mindfulness whatsoever, but if you do, how do you practice mindfulness as of right now?
Do we practice mindfulness? That's a loaded question. I think we do it without maybe sometimes realizing it. It's trying to focus on, like sometimes with our son, we're trying to say, focus on what you can do and what you cannot do, to try to put his mind at ease and make him feel better about maybe some limitation that he might have, or be present sometimes when he has issues at school with maybe some people picking on him. I know it's maybe childish, but it's just be mindful of yourself and just voice how you feel, voice how you are, right, as a person. Yeah, I don't know.
And I thought you brought up a really good point where you have to kind of train your brain not to think ahead too much. Just to step back, appreciate where you're at right now, right?
I know every day is a good day, right? I know you guys are using that. That's the motto of your family. For us, it's never give up.
There you go. Yeah. I
Never
should give
give up.
props to my brother for being mindful. He should be on here with the every day is a good day. But yeah, those are all great ways. Like, just be present, say how you're feeling, because that's obviously important, especially in those situations, and focus on the positive and everything that you can do. That's so important.
My wife is kicking me because it doesn't want me to talk, but another one that we use a lot is no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. Sometimes
exactly.
If we're not sure of doing something, let's give it a try. We have nothing to lose, everything to gain, and there's no regrets. We did it. We did our best, and F the rest.
I love
Let
that.
it go. That's so hard to do.
Exactly.
Shanna
Let
has-
it go. If you
Shanna
can learn
has
that, it's awesome. So I see Shanna has her hand raised here. If you want to go ahead.
One thing that I found that has helped me a lot is stepping back and being grateful. And if it's being grateful as for something simple as having a house, or having, like, just back to the basics, you know, and especially because when you have so much out of your control, just regroup and just be grateful for the small things that you have.
Awesome. I definitely agree with that. Sometimes we forget about we're so lucky just to have food on our tables and clothes on our back. So just to take a moment and step back and say, okay, I might have limitations, but I can also be grateful for so many other things that I do have. So I think that's a great way to be mindful of everything that we do have. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share before we move on?
I have one thing.
Sure.
And that is, to raise our kids with, Holly, Janek, you were saying before in the last meeting that, the feeling of who they are when they look in the mirror. And Holly went through that when she was younger. It's like, am I going to be this? Am I going to be able to do that? And I said to her, you may or you may not, but who you are right now is an amazing person, and that person is going to be the amazing person tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you can or can't do. It's who you are inside right this minute. That's where it matters.
That's awesome. You're so right, Susie.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, Julianna. My God. Right about so many things. No, I'm kidding. No, if only the world knew this. No, but I just think you're just so spot on with this. And Brooklyn also, with her talk, is just really accepting who we are and being okay with it, and let guilt go, and don't let it control us.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. I think, Brooklyn, you were about to say something. So before.
just kind of to jump off what Shauna said, I find gratitude journals really helpful to kind of at the end of the day reflect and just list 3 things, no matter how big or small, that you're grateful for, can really help you kind of pull yourself out of the thoughts spinning around what you should have done, or what if, or kind of what that looked like, and focus on what you're happy for, what you're grateful for, and what's currently around you right now.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, journaling is a great way to practice mindfulness and just jot down how you're feeling, what you're thinking. So it's a great way to get those thoughts and feelings out. Awesome. Does anyone else want to share before we move on? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I would like to say thanks for the presentation, Juliana, and have a better understanding about the leitmotiv, family leitmotiv of Cavallaro. Every day is a good day.
Yeah.
I know now the secrets of the happiness in your family, and like you said, it's not easy to focus on the present moment, but I found when we have some intense activities, sometimes it's much more easy to forget the past or the future and focus on the present. I remember it's like 2 years ago now when we go in Walt Disneyland with the Make-A-Wish. It's for a week, but the benefits is for more than a year, because in this week we just forget everything and focus on the happiness of the moment, the present moment. So exactly. I will keep this mindful in my head.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, it's definitely very important to keep positive. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to move on. Thank you everyone for sharing. That was awesome. I love when I get to hear everyone's thoughts. So as we mentioned journaling before, but another way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. So mindful meditation is used to focus on being intensely aware of what you're sensing and feeling in the moment without interpretation or judgment. Practicing mindfulness meditation involves breathing methods, guided imagery, and other practices to relax the body and mind and help reduce stress. So it's just a way to take 5-10 minutes a day and allow your mind and body to just relax. So how to add mindfulness to everyday life. So these are things that we do almost every day. So just for example, brushing your teeth, taking the time as you're brushing your teeth and just saying, how does the toothbrush feel on my teeth? What does the toothpaste taste like? For doing dishes, how does it feel? How do I feel when I'm doing the dishes? How does the soap feel on my hands? How does the dishcloth feel? Driving, looking around and seeing what's around you. Are there cars? Are there people? Are there trees? Eating, how does the food taste? Do I like it? Do I enjoy it? Is it hot? Is it cold? Just stuff like that. And then lastly is the 5 senses exercise, which is what we will do. It's a grounding exercise. So it is known as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this allows us to be aware of what's happening around us and within us, and it can ground our body when we're feeling a sense of stress or anxiety. So we can do this on our own, but we can do it together. So the first thing, so you can see here that it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So for each of them, you have to name something that has to do with your senses. So the first thing we'll do is 5 things you can see. So all you have to do is look around your room and name 5 things that you can see. If anyone wants to share, you can too out loud. It's up to you guys. Okay.
The chicken scratching up my garden out the window. Not lying.
Supposed to be relaxing.
The soup will be relaxing.
Yeah. Okay, so then next is 4 things you can feel. So that's anything you can feel on your body or with touch. So whether it be your clothing, the ground, anything like that. And then next is 3 things you can hear. So I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then 2 things you can smell. If you can't smell 2 things, then your favorite smell or 2 favorite smells. And then lastly, we have 1 thing you can taste or your favorite taste. So this is just an exercise to go with our 5 senses and see how we're feeling. And it allows us to just realize that we're here in the present moment, and it grounds us a little. So we'll move on to the next one. So next is body scan. So this is just checking in with each part of your body and see how they each feel in this present moment. So we can do it quickly. So you can sit back comfortably and just get in a comfortable position, and I'll lead you guys here. So if you want, you can close your eyes or keep your eyes open, whatever you're more comfortable with. So we'll start with your feet. So we're going to take a deep breath in as we talk about each body part, and try to focus your mind on leading that breath to each part of your body. So we'll breathe in towards the feet and see, how do your feet feel in this present moment? Are they comfortable? Are they tense? And then we'll move to the legs and to the calf. You can take a big deep breath. How are they feeling? And then into the knees. Are your knees bent? Are they straight out? Are they sore? And then up into our upper thighs, a nice big deep breath. How are your thighs feeling? And then into our hips. And then we'll move up into our fingers. Are they relaxed? Are they tense? And then into our whole hand. Take a deep breath into your hands. And then next into our lower arm and elbow. Are they bent? Are they put out straight? How are they feeling? And then into our upper arm and shoulder. Are we stressed and have our shoulders near our ears, or do we have them nice and relaxed? And then into our neck. Can give it a little stretch if that feels good, and see how it's feeling in this present moment. And then onto our face, our lips. Are they touching? Are your lips more open wide? Are they dry? Are they smooth? And then next to the nose, you can take a deep breath. See how the oxygen enters into your nose. How does that feel? Is it cold? Is it warm? And then into our eyes. If they're open, what do you see? If they're closed, how do they feel? And then our just whole face, make sure that none of your muscles are tensed up and just nice and relaxed all together. So that's basically a body scan. So it's basically just checking in on every single part of your body. I maybe missed a couple, but that's basically just checking in and seeing how each of your body part is feeling in the present moment, and can allow us to see, are we feeling any aches and pains? Are we feeling more comfortable than usual? And just checking in. So lastly, we have a mindfulness meditation. So I think we will do that now. So it's just a quick little meditation to show you guys how it works. So I'll lead it. I'll put some music on so it's nice and relaxing for everyone. If you want to participate, you can. If you're not interested, that's fine as well. I just have to open it here. Okay, perfect. Let me know if you guys can hear the music. Is that good? Perfect. Okay. Oops. I lost it. Hold on a second. There's an advertisement. It's YouTube. Just a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you can start by sitting back in your chair. Allow your arms to gently rest. When you're ready, close your eyes. Bring full attention to this very moment, settling in and allowing the mind and body to be still. With openness, patience, and curiosity, bring your awareness to the breath. Taking a deep breath in and releasing it fully. Allow the breath to move as it flows in and out of your body. One last deep breath before letting the breath settle. Allowing it to feel natural and easy. Don't try to force the breath or regulate it in any way. Just allow it to flow naturally on its own. Just continue to be aware of the inhale and exhale, not forcing your breath to be deep or shallow, just focusing on how it is in its natural manner. And you can think within your mind as you do it. I am inhaling and I am aware that I am inhaling. I am exhaling, and I am aware that I am exhaling. You can move your focus to your abdomen. Notice how it's expanding and filling up with air, and then slowly emptying on the exhale. Notice where you're making contact with the cushion or chair. Take a moment to notice how you feel in this present moment. Are you relaxed? Are you enjoying this? Are you rushing to get back to your everyday life? You may find that you're more relaxed, as this is often a common outcome of meditation. This is one of the many reasons why it's so helpful to meditate during times of stress. If we find our mind is clouded due to being overwhelmed, we can use meditation as a tool to calm down the mind and just continue to breathe and be aware of that breath. So if you can take 3 deep breaths and be aware of your inhale and exhale. You can start wiggling your fingers and toes, bringing the intention back to the room, and open your eyes when you are ready. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. I thought that was a good element to include because I know a lot of us won't take the 5-10 minutes to do it. So I think if we can take the time to do it, it would be great for all of us to include as a part of our routine. So let me just open my screen again here. So did you guys enjoy that? A good thumbs up would be nice. Awesome.
Felt like I became part of the chair, melted. I shrunk 2 inches.
We have to figure out how to mute our kids. We could hear our kids in the
Yeah,
basement.
seriously. If only it was that easy, just a mute button. Awesome. Okay, we did all this. Okay, so just if you want any ideas similar to the one that we just did, there are actually different apps available on iPhone and Android. So there's the Mindful app, Headspace, and Calm. So all of them use different breathing techniques or different meditations. Some are for helping to fall asleep, mindfulness, and I think Calm also has meditations for kids. So they're more like creative and have little kiddie elements to them as well. So if you're interested for your kids, I think that would be great too. Everyone has a chance to write them down if they are interested. Shanna, you can go ahead. I see you have your hand raised.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
To that point for kids,
Yes.
when would you say to try and, I can't think of the word right now, get them to do it? Like, if let's say like he's totally emotional, like I have a little guy, he's 7. If he's emotional, is that the time to try it? Or
I mean,
try it? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. You can finish your thought. I don't want to cut you off there.
Okay. Yeah, like, is at that time or just start practicing it before? Like the one thing I started doing with him is trying to do affirmations, like saying he's enough, he can do anything, you know, just trying to get that to him, because like he, as I said, he has, well, actually you don't know, he has SMA type 1, so he's completely trach vent wheelchair dependent. So I'm trying to get him to start saying stuff like that. But there are times when, like, even when he's upset, like I know he's on the breathing machine, I try to get him to breathe. Like, it's okay, let's take a deep breath. It's different, but do you practice it before you get to that point kind of idea? Or
I think it would be great to make it almost like a routine. So maybe every night before bedtime or whenever it fits your schedule. So I think nighttime is always good because it just gives that relaxation before going to bed. But I think there's always like a description or like a goal of each of the meditation styles and stuff, or the breathing exercises. So if you wanted to use them when he's also getting upset, I think that would be great as well. It's just finding the right one that would work.
Okay.
So maybe even like there might even be some type of breathing technique or something that you can implement that's short and just gets him to relax a little bit when he's feeling emotional.
And that was Calm, right? You said
exactly the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll
Thank
be
you.
Calm. No problem. Is there any other questions before we move on? Perfect. So we're basically done. I just want to give you guys a tidbit of information. So I actually, well, as I mentioned before, I work for Bloom Therapeutic Recreation. So we will be collaborating with Cure SMA and creating mental health workshops for the SMA community. We don't have the exact dates yet, but if you are interested and you would like to know more, there will be different workshops. So one on coping mechanisms, one on mindfulness, but different than this. And then, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. What's the other one on? Oh, it's a leisure education class. So There's going to be chair yoga, different arts and crafts, art therapy, all that kind of stuff. So all focused on mental health. So if you would like more information, you can leave your email in the chat and I will give you more information once I have it. So once again, do not forget to sign up with the registration for curesma.ca under Join CureSMA to get your wellness box. Oops. Okay. So thank you to everyone for participating. It was great to have you all here, and I hope that you learned a few things about mindfulness and you can implement them into your lives. And if anyone has questions, I am more than happy to answer.
Just want to say thank you. The 5 minutes, I don't know, but it will be a while. I don't do meditation. And even if I have a lot of sound in my house with my son and I see a lot of things, I make quit and be mindful for 5 minutes. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I will try
I'm so
to
happy
make
to hear
it
that.
every day.
So happy to hear
It's
that. Yeah.
accessible medication.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you again.
No prescription and easily accessible. It's perfect. So glad to hear that. Anybody else have questions or comments?
Well, at what age did you start doing that, Julianna?
Only really recently. Honestly, when I started my degree, I noticed how much resources are available that I'm not using with my mental health, physical health, everything. So it kind of got me into it. So I'd say about 4 years ago, I always knew I should do meditation, but I never really took the time to implement it because it's only 5 minutes, but we always think we're too busy. But once you start using it as a routine, you really start to see a difference in it. I have to get my parents and my brother into it too.
No, it's a good question because I see you and I see my daughter, right? That's older than my son. So I kind of see us going down in the future with my big sister looking after her brother that has special needs. So what would be a good thing for mindfulness for you as a sister, for Sammy, that we could give our daughter? What would be a good?
I think I just take a moment every day and just state what I'm grateful for, because I think as siblings, we kind of forget and can be put to the side a little bit, but we also have to be aware that having a sibling with a disability also gives us quite a unique and awesome perspective to life. So I think just learning what we're grateful for and even just getting her to write down like 3 things a day that she's grateful for would be an awesome way to start.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think, you give people a gift, Julianna, this, like Jan is saying, that something that he takes out of this that he's going to apply every day, because, this 1 hour with you and, the time we had with Brooklyn, it just centers us a bit into what we don't do. What we do is run and think about what we did do or what we're going to do. And there's no right now. And it's so important to focus on that. And it just, I think it was just brilliant. It was a brilliant workshop.
Thank you so much, Susie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's all I have. If there's no other questions, I just want to thank you all so much for this experience. And to Susie, thank you so much. And I hope that you guys learned something. And if you can take those even 5 minutes a week to think about yourself, because I know it's hard to think about ourselves when we have so much other stress, but to just do it and implement it, I think it'll make a very big difference for all of you. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon, evening, I guess, on your end of the country. There's another shop after this. All right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Juliana.